So back in school, when I was like 16, I was probably fapping about twice a day at least, and maybe like 3 times a day from probably the ages of like maybe 12 all the way through to like 21, which is mad. So thousands and thousands of sessions. And yeah, that's not good. But I was doing that for my whole early life. And it was only till really recently that I sort of didn't masturbate for probably about a month, about 30 days. And in this video, I want to give you what I think is the best benefit from NoFap that I've seen, because there's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of YouTube videos that I've watched talking about lots of different benefits of NoFap and all these kind of things, like, semen retention. But I think there's one like super obvious benefit that's way better than all the other benefits, to be honest with you. And that for me is the benefit of being more driven. So when I was doing NoFap, I noticed that I was way more driven towards my kind of goal of this YouTube channel, of my mission of growing this business, right? Which is my current main goal in life. And I was way more driven towards that, because when you actually bust your nut, you go, the post-nut clarity that people talk about, right? Well, that's kind of your body going into like this kind of resting, kind of sleepy, you go kind of sleepy and resting. And like, why does that happen? Okay. So what is the two kind of primary goals of the male, like primordial human body, right? What's your main two goals of the day? Is to survive. Okay. You need to eat food. That's why it tastes so good when you eat food. You eat a lot of food and you kind of just feel a bit sleepy afterwards. And to reproduce, continue the human species. And there's a thing that happens when you masturbate. Your body is like, oh great, we've reproduced today, fantastic. So that signals to your brain that, okay, nice, we're done for the day, that's it. So when I would, like, back when I was like 18, working on these like online businesses, and if you don't know, at the time I was working on some online businesses like dropshipping, print on demand. None of them worked, but I was still working on them, trying to make money online. And I'd be masturbating like in the morning, right? Before, like on a weekend, before I went and did anything, I'd do it literally like at 9 o'clock in the morning, just wake up, roll out of bed, have a wank, go do my thing for the day. And I was unable to work. I wasn't driven, I didn't care, right? I was just comfortable. I was pretty comfortable just being sat around in my room, playing GTA, and then occasionally just wanking. And that was what I did. That just signals to your brain that you have finished for the day. You've like kind of finished the main task of the day. You've eaten food and you've reproduced. And I think if you're a person who has stuff that you want to work on, like the gym, or you've got a business, or you are trying to work on a YouTube channel, then when you just constantly masturbate, you're essentially telling your body that you don't need to do any additional work for the day. And I found that when I was doing that, I really struggled to actually sit down and work on this YouTube channel, make videos, that kind of thing. But when I did semen retention for like 30 days, and I'm saying did because I did actually masturbate recently, and I'm not proud of that. So I'm not on NoFap currently. I'm going to go back onto it, don't worry. When I was on NoFap and semen retention, I felt so much more driven and motivated to work on this YouTube channel and to make videos, because whenever I would have a little thought going from my brain of, oh, I could kind of, I could probably wank right now, I'm a little bit horny, right, whatever, I could stop myself. And then I'll be like, it kind of frustrating, like, what do I do? What do I do? And oftentimes I would end up grabbing my notepad and just sat there in front of it, just thinking, and I'd come up with a video idea and I would just film that video. And then after I get into the workflow a little bit, maybe record a couple of videos, maybe edit something, a few hours will have passed by and I will have forgotten about the fact that I was even horny. So it was a nice way to get me over the edge to kind of try and do something else quickly. Or sometimes I would just go to the gym and I would just literally get on the treadmill and just do a bit of cardio. And that was a good like distraction to get away from it. And I really do think that if like the male human body is doing semen retention and you're putting on other stuff on top of that, like fasting, like habit stacking, right? So you're doing semen retention and then you're fasting. That is like the perfect conditions for the human like male body to be almost like so driven to want to go out and like do you know what I mean? Like to just achieve. That is just the perfect conditions. And there's a saying that I heard Hamza talk about, which I really like. I didn't come up with this. It's the idea that most men have full bellies and empty balls. And that is the worst situation for the male body to be in terms of wanting to be driven and go and do things and go speak to girls and go try and like build businesses and go to the gym and build muscle and like be this kind of person, right? Because if you have a full belly and empty balls, your kind of monkey brain is like, oh, nice, we're doing well here, guys. We're doing well, boys. This is it, right? We've reproduced, we're surviving. This is great. But if you can have an empty belly, you're fucking hungry, and you have like full walls, so your body is like aware that you've not reproduced in ages, that's like this like very potent fuel for your body to be like, you know, it's going to increase your testosterone. And what all this is that the main benefit of it, of NoFap, is what I'm describing here is essentially just an increase in testosterone, because when your body is in that scenario where it hasn't eaten and it hasn't reproduced, you're going to be kind of like sexually kind of, what's the word, like taut, and you can use that energy, that kind of frustration, to put onto things like the gym, like business. And the one thing I'll give you is, if it does get too distracting, like you're just sat in your room, like kind of just rubbing your legs because you're just so horny, then it's probably not going to be the end of the world if you just bust it out, right? Bust out a wank. It's not the end of the world. But the main tip I'll give you is don't watch porn. So a big part of NoFap is obviously not masturbating, but I think what's more important than not masturbating is actually not watching porn. I think porn's a lot more damaging to the brain mentally than it is to wank, right? So if it does get too much, just bust out a nut, right? And just think about some shit. I don't know. You can probably have some things you can just think about from all the thousands of hours of porn that you've been watching up until this point. So recently, I want to be totally truthful and honest on this channel. But recently, I was just getting a bit like kind of sexually wound up. I didn't watch porn, but I did. And that was the end of my NoFap streak. I think I lasted probably like 40 days or something like that. That was the end of the streak. And honestly, like, that was the end of the streak, and that was yesterday. And today I'm feeling a little bit like, fucking hell, I don't know if I can be bothered. Like, I've just filmed a video before this, and I was just saying, like, for today, from what I've done, I literally just woke up and it was sunny outside. I live in the UK, so it's barely ever sunny. And I just like rolled out of bed, went downstairs, went outside, sunbathed all day. Just sunbathed in the sun all day. And now, I'm not gonna lie, it's like 8 o'clock at night and I'm feeling a little bit tired, not feeling super motivated. That's why I don't really have this like energy on the videos that I usually do. So I'm a little bit tired, so I'm apologizing for that. But I need to get the content out, man. I don't care. If I come to these videos sometimes with a little bit less energy than usual, I'm gonna be honest, I'll tell you why. The advice is still the same. It's just I'm not gonna be able to convey it in a convincing way. But yeah, I think this is the number one benefit of NoFap. Obviously, there's other benefits to it as well. Like, you're not going to be like looking at girls in a sexual manner all the time. Your room's not going to smell of jizz. You're not going to be, I guess, like, have a smelly dick. Like, you don't need to shower as much, I guess. That's a benefit, right? There's a bunch of other benefits to NoFap, but I think this is by far the best. It's kind of putting your body into this condition where it's kind of like not fight or flight, but kind of like a lot more like kind of hemped up and driven, and you're not constantly in this like state of relaxation, like you've succeeded the day all the time, even though you like have just literally, you wake up, like play GTA 5 all day, not go outside, not go to the gym, not do anything, and as long as you've eaten food and like had a wank, your body's like sound, achieve the day, okay? And that's not what we want to be in. If you're subscribed to the channel, if you're watching this video, then you probably don't want to be the guy who's just sat in the room wanking, playing video games. That's like, come on, it's a self-improvement channel. That's like the first that's like step 0, okay? So we don't want to be doing that. So yeah, that's the main benefit of NoFap. Right, but anyway, just a quick video on that. I just wanted to give you my experience with it. Hope you got some value out of that video. Hope you found it motivational maybe in some way. And yeah, cheers for watching, man. See you in the next one. Bye.